Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Manifest Tarot. I'm so happy you're here. Today we are going to check in with your subconscious self. What are you, what's going on behind the conscious you that's shaping your manifestations? And to do that, I'm going to pick 3 cards from this oracle deck. Oh, I already see 2. We have this one, and we have this one. So, this one. They came out so readily. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh my gosh, what a cute card. So this is the Chipmunk and Laurel with success. And this is card number 7. What a cute little chipmunk. For pile 2, this is the Antelope and Wheat with Nourishment. And this is card, what is it? Wait, is it? So this is 45. Sorry. I couldn't tell at first if this was an L or an, an I. So it's an L. So the Antelope and Wheat with Nourishment, this is card number 45. And this is for pile number 2. And for pile number 3, what a cute card. Again, 3 such cute cards. The Bear and Cedar with Leadership. This is card number 4. Wow, such beautiful cards already. This is such an awesome reading already, I can tell. All right, I'm going to get some crystals for those of you who like to pick with crystals, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and I have the crystals out for pile number 1. This is the yellow aventurine heart. To go along with the chipmunk. Oops, there's a little piece of lint. We can't have lint on the we can't have lint on our reading space. So for pile number 2, this is the opal hexagonal point. And for pile number 3, this is the green aventurine oval. All right, pick whichever pile or piles you want and take your time picking however you want, with whatever is intriguing you, calling you, maybe even bringing up some emotion within you, anything about these cards, the crystals, the sayings, anything. Just use whatever is speaking to you right now and choose your pile or piles. Of course, I'm going to leave the timestamps below, and I'm going to see you in your reading. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose this charming card. This is card number 7, the Chipmunk and Laurel with success. Look at how determined this little chipmunk is with this piece of laurel in their little fist. And with this card, you chose this yellow aventurine heart. I feel like this reading is going to be some sort of monumental, momentous thing. It's just a feeling I have about this reading. All right, I have these 2 piles of tea leaves. They're just in 2 piles because you could already see this one was trying to slip away. They're very slippery. They're you know what this deck is? It's filled with scoundrels that want to just go off and not, whoop, see? these scoundrel cards. All right, so I picked 2 from this pile. Let's pick a couple from this pile. So there's this one. I guess this one wants to come out. All right, so let's see what we have for the tea leaves first. Lion, time to act. Wow. Your subconscious is very determined and very clear. Very clear, concise messages for you. Pile number 1. Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Again, your subconscious is very determined. Very determined. Wow. All right, so here's a month of the year. May. This is next month. For those of you, I'm recording this in April, so this is the next month, so it's very soon. Well, we could take this in a couple ways. You could take it as, you know, very soon, you know, like coming right up. You could take it as spring, whether you're in the northern or southern hemisphere, you know, you can take it as spring. You can take it as 5, because May is, of course, the 5th month. You can take it as just like burgeoning growth, you know, like things that spring represents to you, for instance. So there's many ways to take this. There's many ways to make this appropriate to your experience here. And we have this astral house. What do we have here? Career. So there's some success thing that you are really concerned with, your career success. And that you're so determined. Very interesting. All right, so I have 3 decks. I'm going to show you all 3 decks, and I'm going to pull some cards from each one. All right, so just to let you know, if you haven't seen me use this deck before, this is the Vice Versa tarot deck. So this is actually the back, and this is the front. So this is, of course, the Magician card, and this is the front, and this is the back. Every card has a front and back image. So I just wanted to let you know that's why you're seeing an image on this card. So we're going to wake up the deck, and I'm going to, whoop, whoa. So that one really wanted to come out here. She'll take both. Here's these 2. And then let's see what else is going to come out for us, this one. All right, so there's these. And of course we can take more if we want. So this is the Halloween deck. There's this one. All right. And we also have this one. This one is called Tarot of the Tales, I think. Or it's either Tarot of Tales or the Tarot of the Tales or something like that. This is folk tales. A tarot deck of imagery from folk tales. right. So of course we can pull more if we want, but we already have quite a few cards. So let's see what we have here first. So we are looking at your subconscious right now. We're checking in with your subconscious, pile number 1. So we are checking in with your subconscious, and your subconscious is checking in with its visions of your future. So this is the 3 of Wands. This is the front, and this is the back. They're here with their yin and yang energy here. Actually, this is this is such an interesting card. I have a lot to say about this card. This card is always so interesting. All right, so we have the 4 of Cups, the ennui card. I love this image. All right. Oh, wow. Look at this big watermelon. Look at all the stuff that's being harvested. So this is, of course, the King of Pentacles. Look, there's 2 more watermelons. The King of Pentacles, he's very bountiful. He's very big. He's very powerful. Yet he's very gentle. So this is him by night, and this is him by day. Very interesting card. This is the Earth suit, the suit of Pentacles. Very earthy. All right, and of course this is very emotions. These illustrations are very indicative of the meaning of the suit. The Cups is emotions. It's a very emotion-laden image, and so is this. It's very melancholy, this one. And then this is the suit of Wands. This is the suit of intentions. This deck is very good at aligning the illustrations to the meaning of the suit. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. So this is the King of Swords. So you have 2 kings in a row. Look at all that armor, but you know what's interesting is that the armor has a butterfly in the chest plate. Something that you wouldn't expect to see on armor, isn't it? So that's the front. And now this is the back. Wow, look how powerful this is. And this sickle embedded in the earth. Is it discarded? Do they no longer need that they thought they had to have? Maybe this is an idea or a belief that you thought you had to have, and now you're discarding it. And of course, I hope you see the bird. All right, wow, you're getting such interesting cards already, pile number 1. And the World card. This is the final major arcana card of the deck. So it's like the final card, final card of the deck. All right, so that's that deck. So let's start out with what we have with the Halloween deck. Oh gosh, how cute. This is the 10 of Imps. Imps is swords. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wands. The Imps is wands, not swords. Look at this, looks like Igor and his heavy burden. Very interesting. After using this deck, I keep on wanting to flip it over. When I use this deck, I then start wanting to have a second image on all of my cards. So funny. All right, and then now this one, the Star card. Such interesting cards you have, pile number 1. The 2 of Swords, so bats as swords. Some sort of choice. Oh, look at this little pumpkin. The cat playing with this little pumpkin toy. She could remove this blindfold at any moment. Her hands are free. She could leave. She's immobilized by something. The Knight of Pentacles, the slowest knight in the deck. So you've got the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. You've got a lot of masculine energy here. And you do have some feminine energy, but you have a lot of masculine energy in this reading. So we have the 4 of Wands. And you can see very clearly what this is all about. It's a celebration, it's togetherness, it's a party. The fruition of something. All right, so we have 3 more. The Tower card. It's so funny the way this subtle choices in what the artist did makes such a huge difference in how we perceive it. So the artist could have centered the tower in our, it could have gone like this and centered the tower in our vision. So I am making, you know, I'm distorting your field of view here by tipping the card up and bringing it in towards you. But the way it really is, the way the artist wanted you to see it is, this is in your foreground and this is your field of view. Your field of view is going right toward the rubble, but also the little sprouts, the new growth, the newness emerging from the old. Very interesting. And then what do we have next? The 5 of Cups. So you had the 4 of Cups, and now you have the 5 of Cups. Very interesting. And then for our final card, the High Priestess. Wow. Look at this. What is she about to do, I wonder? So let's see what we have here. Pile number 1. There's a lot, you know, just this whole thing, there's a lot of determination. Your subconscious, pile number 1, is also totally behind what you, pile number 1, consciously want. That's the overall message that I'm getting. There's a lot of focus, both from your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, on your goal. You're united. Before, it seems like you were going this way as the conscious mind, and your subconscious was going this way, or you might have been like going this way and getting all tangled up in your intentions and fighting against each other, trying to get free from each other, then trying to come in toward each other and getting tangled up. And it was a mess before, but now you're both in alignment. And we are very clear with what is happening here. Success, time to act, increase your efforts, career, very soon. It's like a lot of focus. So it's funny because the last card kind of is the summation of this focus. The High Priestess is telling us that there's your human form, pile number one, and then your real, your you-ness, the real you, right? The you that is not just your human form. And that what I'm calling the subconscious, for lack of a better, more direct term, that we in the manifesting community, it's often called the subconscious, or you could call it the I am. You could call it many things, but this right here is showing us you as the human and you as your subconscious, or your I am, or whatever you want to call it, think about it as, acting together and making magic happen, making your what do you call it, your manifestation come true in your 3D. That's what this is telling me. And it's a lot of focus. But I'm wondering, it's kind of funny. Well, first of all, it's kind of funny that we have the World card in the middle of all this. But secondly, I'm thinking that a lot of this focus and a lot of this determination has made you pretty tired, because the 10 of Wands is like just feeling so overburdened and dropping, he's even dropping something. He can't even keep everything together. He can't even continue carrying his burden. He's so tired. His arms are overloaded and it's almost impossible to keep carrying everything. And that's okay. I'm seeing a lot of determination. I'm seeing a lot of focus, but I'm also seeing this ennui card and this overburdened card. So and also this kind of immobilization. This is not the 8 of Swords where it's, feeling completely immobile, even though you're not. That's the meaning of the 8 of Swords, which you do not have. But you have this 2 of Swords, which is kind of, in this case, it's kind of a mini 8 of Swords, whereas you've gone past feeling completely overwhelmed. You've gone not overwhelmed. You've gone past feeling completely unable to accomplish anything. You've gone past that idea of being trapped by your circumstances, by your 3D. But you're still, it seems like this is kind of sprinkled in among the other things. It seems like still you're still temporarily thinking, do I want this? Do I want that? Do I want to, do I even want to consciously manifest, or do I want to give up? Like some of these little thoughts here and there in your mind, you are taking more seriously than you need to. You're taking these thoughts that you're having, you're taking these moments of doubt, you're taking these moments of feeling abandoned and feeling hopeless and feeling like your ship has sailed. If you don't know that saying, it means that, you've lost your chance. These feelings that you're having, you don't have to take them seriously. This feeling, if you're feeling overburdened like this, you're allowed to take a break. If you're feeling overburdened like this, you're allowed to say, okay, what do I want? What do I? And it doesn't matter. If you as the great I am, as the subconscious, if you want to take a break as the subconscious, although it's never taking breaks, like if you want to feed that part of you and you want to just completely relax and get in touch with your subconscious mind and let go of all your cares, you can do that. You can put everything down. Just let everything go. You can do that. If you want to just kind of wander off and sit on a bench and say, I'm just going to ignore my choices right now. These two things that are going on, it doesn't matter what they are, pile number one. If you want to just, if they're flapping and fluttering around your head and you think, I just don't even want to think about those things right now, if I want to go and do something else, I can do that. I can just sit here being completely calm and be on my own and not even do anything about any of these so-called pressing concerns and just be me. It's also really important, I should say, so I was trying to find a good word for it, important to notice that the Star card is between the Ten of Wands and the Two of Swords. It's just this intuition-y kind of this more quiet determination, this more quiet kind of being in touch with yourself kind of card, feeding yourself, feeding that part of you that would be up on the roof at night looking at the stars, that part of you that is able to do what you deeply want to do with no deeper meaning other than to just enjoy yourself in the moment. I feel like this is something that you've been missing for a while because you've been so determined. Where's the determination? I guess it's time to act. I guess it's all I thought. You know what's so funny is that I was so into the word determination to describe you that I was looking for the actual word, but no, it came up from everything, you know, especially from this card too. This card, there's so many. This card. You've got so much determination, yet you're being reminded to welcome those times, not just say, okay, this is what this is one of your main messages. When you need time to relax and when you need time to get in touch with you, for your conscious and your subconscious to kind of relax together and puddle onto the floor, you don't have to think of it or feel it or regard it as something to get, how can I say? You don't have to think of it as something to kind of get over quickly, to kind of get through quickly. Oh, I have to rest, I'm tired. Oh, no, that is you, that's part of you, and it's also what's getting you in touch with your deeper self, your subconscious, your you-ness. You know, this could be also, this Two of Swords, it could also be you're choosing, you're trying to think, it's appearing to you that you have to choose sides between your conscious and your subconscious, if that makes sense. And you do not. You can be comfortable as a human and also as the great I am. You don't have to denigrate your subconscious thoughts. You don't have to denigrate your conscious human thoughts. Both make up you in this human experience. So we have these two kings. There's a lot of masculine energy. Well, first of all, I'm gonna talk about these two kings. But then I also want to talk about, am I getting everything? Yeah, so I'm going to talk about a lot of this masculine energy, which is all this time to act, increase your efforts, success, career, soon, driving forward. All right, so again, we have, I already talked about this a little bit. This is the air suit. Very airy. You can see the air, the wind is really acting upon this character with the cloak and the hair waving in the wind. And then, of course, in the back, on the back, you have this giant bolt of lightning. You have the clouds. You just have a lot of action of wind. And in the front, you have a lot of wind as well. And then you have the daytime clouds, which aren't really storm clouds, but they're still very apparent. And then here you have a lot of earthiness. You have growth, you have a lot of landscape here, you have a lot of burgeoning wealth of the land by day and by night. And of course, he's sitting on a stone throne. So you have really these two opposite feelings, but they're both full of determination. If you look at them, the cards are slippery. If you look at them, look at their faces, they're both completely determined. They're determined to be who they are. They're actually comfortable who they are, with who they are. The thing I wanted to call your attention again to is this sickle thing. So this warrior, this king of swords, has this giant broadsword, this two-handed sword. And he's really, it's front and center, right? It's a very big part of his persona. And you think, wow, this person really treasures his weapon. He's relying on his weapon for his life. I mean, obviously, if you're warring around, you have to trust this sword with your life. But if you turn this over, you see this discarded weapon. Well, why is that? This is something, I'm going to tell you. This is something that you, pile number 1, were thinking in the past, and that you've just given up. You've given up. You voluntarily gave this up. You voluntarily gave up this deeply held subconscious belief about yourself, or it might have been about the world around you, or it might have been about your circumstances, but it's something monumental that you said, I, pile number 1, am giving up this belief, this thing that I was carrying around, and I realized I do not need it. So it's significant because, as I said, weapons are very important to this person, and yet they voluntarily let go of this sickle. And I already talked a lot about the King of Pentacles. We also have the Knight of Pentacles, which is this forward movement. Do you see how determined the horse is? The horse looks even more determined than the person. The horse has more of a personality than the person. It's kind of funny. But there's it's relentless forward movement, but the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, and the Knight of Pentacles represents the type of movement that is one step forward, and then consider the next step, plan the next step, then take that next step. And then consider the next step, plan the next step, take that next step. There's relentless forward movement, yet considered forward movement. And then we also have this Three of Wands, which is creating the future that you want, manifesting this future that you want. And what is so interesting is we see that they've just stepped out of these trees, and then now we see that there's this just giant, what appears to us right now as a wasteland. And what is this character going to do? This is you stepping out, just like this King of Swords, leaving behind what they don't want anymore, which is this tangled, vast forest that they just fought out of. That's the old you, pile number one. That's the old you. That's the old pile number one that you do not want to be anymore. That's your old persona that you used to wear in the 3D as a human avatar. That was you. Now you've stepped out, and now you get to remake this entire wasteland exactly the way you want it. And you can be determined. You can be determined to do it. Yet again, it's so significant that this is right near this Four of Cups, that you want to be careful that you don't overextend yourself and become hopeless because you pushed yourself too hard. There's so much pressure you're putting yourself under, or on yourself, whatever. So we have this Tower moment, but it's, as I said, a lot of Tower cards have the Tower front and center, and the destruction of the Tower front and center. This card has the rubble after the Tower has fallen, and the regrowth after the Tower has fallen, front and center. So this means to me that pile number one, you've already had your Tower moment, and now, and some of you might be still focusing on the Tower moment, but now this card is telling you that you have to focus on the regrowth. You have to focus on the rebirth of your life. You have to focus on, you've already successfully fought your way through this forest of the old you. And now you have to refocus your mind away from the Tower moment, away from the tangled forest. That's over. That's not you any longer. And you look forward, and you can create the new without ever looking back. You can if you want to, but you don't have to ever look back. And so it's interesting that you got this Four of Cups and this Five of Cups. To me, this Five of Cups is saying to you, pile number one, look at all this debris, all this. This is trees falling. It's saying to me also that the time for regret is being just washed away. There's no more regret. There's no more time for regret. There's no more need for regret. There's no more time for regret. there's no more time for looking back at what has already happened, and that you now look forward. You're now using this star card energy to look forward into what you do want. The old is being inexorably washed away, and you can now, pile number 1, let it go successfully. You can just let it go successfully. So, oh, that's why we had the world in the middle. I was thinking of it in the middle of the entire reading, but I just really realized, I just really noticed, look at the 3 last cards of each deck. We have the world, which is everything you want, everything come together in one complete and utter harmony of delight, I will say. We have the 4 of Wands, which is this celebration. This is a job well done, kind of something that you have done that is successful, and that you are celebrating the successful conclusion of this thing you've worked hard for. And we have this High Priestess. These are all 3 the final cards of each deck, each deck's pulls for you. And so we have this High Priestess card, which is manifesting, bringing together the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. That's what this is here for you as. She's lighting these candles, and she is completely, how can I say? She's completely meshed herself so that she does not begrudge. A lot of people in the manifesting community are really kind of begrudging their human self, begrudging their human emotions, begrudging their human foibles, begrudging their human experiences. But you, as a human being, you are both your consciousness and your subconsciousness. You're both your human experience and your great I am experience, right? So she is saying that you can light the candle of both. You can encapsulate, you can set fire to, as in like, bring that fire of intention to both your consciousness and your subconsciousness in the way that you approach your manifestation. You don't have to begrudge the humanity of yourself and pull it along. Your humanness is part of you. Your human emotions are part of you. Your grief, your wondering, your doubts, your fears, even just as much as your feelings of love and certitude. It's all you. It's a very beautiful, beautiful reading. So your ending is very clear. Look at how clear this is for us. You've got the world, which is everything you want. You've got this 4 of Wands, which is a successful conclusion of everything you've been doing. And you've got this High Priestess, which is you, pile number 1, meshing everything about yourself together. And so all of this determination, all of this time to act, all of this career, efforts, success, goals, soon, everything coming together is because you have accepted every part of yourself. And this World card is not just you getting what you want outside in the 3D. This is you being able to encompass everything, your consciousness, your subconsciousness, your emotions, your doubts and your fears, your likes and your dislikes, your certitude and your wondering if this is ever going to work. All of that is not only valid, it's also part of you, and you can accept that. This is exactly what I see as a check-in with your subconscious. This is an amazing reading, and you are in such a wonderful place that you can now take a step back. Not just take a step back, take a step back inside of yourself and accept all of yourself, past and present and future self, pile number 1, and love yourself for it. And when you do, you are able to move past everything that has happened and be the person that you've always wanted to be. And that is your beautiful reading. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I love all of your comments, your shares, your likes. They all mean so much to me. I love reading your comments. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe so you don't miss any future readings. Thank you so much, and I know I'm going to see you very soon. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. You chose this such a cute card, the Antelope and Wheat with Nourishment. And this is card number 45. Very handsome little creature. And along with this opal hexagonal point. And let us see, we are going to have, or do a couple cards from these tea leaves. Well, they're kind of well behaved right now. I'm proud of them. They usually want to fall all over the place. All right, let's see. Are you going to give us a couple cards here? Well, they're being so like well behaved. I don't understand. They decided to not fall all over the place. Thank you. Thank you, tea leaves. All right, so this first one is Gong, an exciting event. Wow. And also a very loud event. All right, we have that here. And then we have older man, dealings or relationship with an older man. We have staff, you will be taken care of in difficult times. Look at this little snake. It looks like a dragon staff with a snake being wound around it. Doesn't that look like a little dragon face? Interesting. And we also have marriage. Whoops! That slid right into my lap. Marriage. All right, wow. Pile number 2. What's going on here? Wow, okay. So we have 3 decks here for us. And I wanted to show this one to you if you haven't seen me use it before. This is the vice versa tarot. So this is the front. This is the 3 of Wands, of course. And this is the back. So each card has 2 separate images. And that's why you see an image on the back. There's no universal side here. So let's wake this up and we will get some cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So put that aside. This is the Halloween deck. Halloween tarot, I think. Halloween, it's the Halloween deck, I think it's called. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then this is called the Tarot of the Tales, or the Tarot of Tales. It's folklore tarot deck. All right, 3 of these. What do we have? This is the Knight of Cups. Very appropriate for a reading that has the marriage oracle card. What else do we have? Oh, we have this 5 of Wands, fighting about something, having this big disagreement about something, while all along there's something way more important happening. Pretty soon they're going to look up and say, hey, we have bigger problems than whatever we were fighting about. Pretty funny. This vice versa tarot is such a funny deck. Also, we have the Temperance card. Here's the front, and here's the back. We have the Queen of Cups. Again, very appropriate for the marriage oracle card reading. There's the front and there's the back. Oh, and thank you to the reader. I don't know why. I was like, what is this bird on the back? It's some sort of water bird, and a commenter on a previous reading said it's a stork. So yes, looks like a stork, symbolizing motherhood and babies. And all right, so we have the Ace of Pentacles. There's the front. Look at this beautiful garden. And there's the back. Very interesting. It looks completely different, front and back. So we obviously can take it that this is their front yard, yard, and then this is the palatial home. Very interesting. There's your 5 cards for this deck. And we have the Fool card. Another beginning, just like this. Just like that Ace of Pentacles, we have this Fool card. The 9 of Pentacles, a wish fulfillment card. You're all of a sudden getting all these pentacles. We had this, we had the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Now we're getting Pentacle, Pentacle, Pentacle. The Devil card. Look at the mouse and the cat having a little staring contest. The Page of Cups. Again, we're getting more of the marriage. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, Page of Cups. Lots of emotions. Lots of tender love emotions. We have also the 2 of Cups. Pile number 2. If you don't know what the 2 of Cups is, it is the romantic love card. It is the card symbolizing romantic love, union, marriage, kind of all of those things that you would expect with a romantic love card. Such an interesting reading here. Let's see what these have to say. The King of Pentacles. Wow, you have such a strong dualistic emotions and abundance reading. King of Pentacles. Look at how regal this creature is with all of their pentacles. And if you noticed, their clothing is growing onto the pentacles. That's kind of weird. All right, let's put that here. The 4 of Swords. You're having a Zen moment, removing yourself from all of this temporarily. That's a good idea. All right, and then the final card, I'm so curious. The 7 of Wands. Wow, moving from one world to another. From one reality. I shouldn't say world, I should say reality. So it really seems like your oracle cards knew what was happening. We could have just stopped right at this too. You will be taken care of in difficult times and marriage. I don't know what difficult times there are, but you have such a strong abundance track here. We have this Ace of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and where's the other pentacle? I thought you had one more pentacle. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's enough. These 3 pentacles. And you also have the Knight of Cups. You have the Queen of Cups. You have the Page of Cups. and you have the Two of Cups. Very much a tale of two things that you have been trying to manifest here. I should put that in quotes. There's no trying, there's just manifesting. We manifest everything. But there's a clear thing going on here that, okay, there's an exciting event. I feel like your biggest message here that you might not have been expecting is this nourishment, that you need to nourish yourself. You need to take a step back and realize that anything that you are, it knew I wanted to talk with my hands here. To anything that you are concentrating on manifesting, the biggest, and in your 3D, which we all want that, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but the biggest thing you're manifesting is the new you. You are becoming the person that you have to be to get those things in the 3D. And it doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't matter what's happening in the 3D. You have to become the person, and it seems like you're so there, pile number 2. You have to become the person that no matter what is happening in the 3D, as in, i.e., falling over this cliff, you have to still be what you want to be. You have to completely ignore the 3D and be the you that you have to be to have what you want. If you just saw this, you'd say, oh, look, it's a juggler. And then you just see this, you say, oh, look, that's a person falling off the cliff. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're both here. You might be falling off a cliff, and you might be a juggler at the same time. You might be someone who, I'm going to make an example, and this has nothing to do with anybody specific that's watching, right? I'm just going to make an example, because difficult times, this fool, this devil, maybe, this, you might, okay, say someone has just been laid off from their job. And obviously, the terrible thoughts, the terrible self-concept, the terrible things that might be bubbling up from the subconscious, saying all of those things that someone would say to themselves about themselves in that situation. I don't even want to say it. I have to say, honestly, people, you know, the what do you call it? The manifestation. I mean, I watch manifestation videos, right? And read, you know, Neville Goddard and things like that. But when I hear people repeat the negative things, I don't necessarily like it. Sometimes it's interesting, but a lot of times I feel like, hey, you know what? I don't really feel like listening to this. I don't really feel like listening to things I already know I tell myself. Maybe some people like that, but I personally don't. So I'm going to maybe stop doing that so much. So think about the things that one might say negatively to themselves in that situation, or not. You don't have to think about the specific things, but just imagine. But that person who just got laid off is not any of those negative things unless they perceive themselves to be. Unless they take that on as a new persona. So I think that's why you're getting this Four of Swords, which is taking a step back and really not even closing your eyes. Look, closing your eyes to the 3D and being the you want to be, no matter what is going on in the 3D. This is you and your subconscious becoming one. It's very much the same message that we saw in the first reading, which is stepping out from the negativity. It's okay to have the thoughts. If somebody gets laid off, how can they, unless it's somebody I've never met before that could be laid off and not care, but there's really not very many people, I would think, in the whole world that would be able to be laid off and not have negative feelings and thoughts, at least a little bit. So obviously, that's a normal reaction for a human to have. So therefore, there's nothing wrong with feeling those things. There's nothing wrong with thinking those things. But the real one of the cruxes of conscious manifestation is then, once you, pile number 2, for instance, have had those feelings, had those thoughts, you rebalance yourself within the you that knows who you are, irrespective of anything that is going on. Anything that is going on. That's what your subconscious is telling you right now. That you, pile number 2, that's your goal, that's your persona that is calling out to be recognized within you, that it does not matter what is going on outside of me in the 3D, and it doesn't matter what is going on inside of me, my thoughts and feelings. I still am that person that I say that I am. If 100 people come up to you and tell you, pile number 2, let's say you want to be a great painter and you've worked so hard and you have created your masterpiece. And if 100 people come up to you and tell you that they don't like it, it does not mean that you are not still an artist. It doesn't mean that you are not still able to see this painting that you've painted as your masterpiece. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if the 101st person comes up to you and says that is your masterpiece. It doesn't matter what is going on in your 3D. It's what you see yourself as. So the thing about this reading is, amongst all of this, the big emotional track, the big abundance track, there are some real distractions, I would say. Distractions. These might be your subconscious thoughts here that are distracting you, that you haven't uncovered yet. Maybe some of you have something in your subconscious that you have not uncovered that is stymieing your progress, the way this 5 of Wands is showing us. This is you and your subconscious battling it out in the 3D. Meanwhile, no, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant to say. This is you in your 3D, like this is your conscious mind in your 3D battling it out. And meanwhile, your subconscious is over there spouting out things you don't like. It's like, well, it's like a volcano with this molten hot magma of assumptions about yourself that don't work for you. So the only reason that you and your 3D are fighting, that you're fighting your 3D, that you're resisting your 3D, that you're unable to be the balanced you that has that surety about yourself, is that your subconscious is pumping something out every moment that's working against your conscious mind. And we don't have to uncover every single thing that our subconscious might be thinking negatively about us, but there seems to be something for you, pile number 2, that you really have been not able to see clearly. Look at this guy. Look at this guy's helmet, totally pulled over his eyes. And then, yeah, look, that one is also too pulled over his eyes. Like willfully ignoring, they're just bashing each other's heads in. They can't see each other. They can't see the volcano. They can't see anything. They're just mindlessly bashing. This is you mindlessly affirming or scripting or whatever. It's not like scripting or affirming or whatever you do is bad. It's that if your subconscious is pumping out something that's going contrary to what you want, then it really is mindless. So there's something here that you're being shown is not working quite right. And then this Fool card energy, it's great to run around being the jolly juggler, but not if you fall off a cliff. If there's something about either love or abundance or both that has been working against you, that it seems like is ready to come out and ready for you, pile number 2, to see clearly. And so that this exciting event might be what's going on inside you, this exciting overflowing of this magma that you can no longer ignore, but you never should have ignored in the first place, because it's been keeping you. It's your final step, right? It's your final step. The devil card is so interesting, pile number 2, because it is, how can I say? Well, I mean, it's 2 meanings. There's 2 meanings. There's not just 2. There's not just 2, but these 2 meanings that are so interesting about it. I mean, yes, the devil card is, can signify listening to the bad, listening to your subconscious fears. What if you're... See, I don't want to repeat what might happen or what might, be said. It's like the things that we all might say to ourselves. You have never been able to X. You will never again Y. You've lost your chance to Z. Anything bad like that. Anything going contrary to what you want out of life, basically. So you might, I think you're experiencing that kind of listening to your subconscious mind pumping out that molten lava magma of thoughts that aren't serving you at all. But also the devil card can signify just taking that time to step back, enjoy yourself, taking that time to enjoy yourself. And the reason that it's right, the fact that it's right above the Four of Swords, you might also need that time to just enjoy yourself. Hey, so what? So what if this thing is crumbling under my feet? I'm still going to enjoy being the juggler. There is some of that energy in your reading. It's like, okay, I'm just going to enjoy myself. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to enjoy myself. And I am going to take the pressure off myself to be perfect. I don't have to be perfect. So that's a major, that is a major storyline, through line on your entire reading. So the Seven of Wands is so interesting to me. The Seven of Wands is, okay, so this, I just had this thought, this interpretation of this card that's different from what I've had before. So this camel has really slogged across this entire desert, step by step, 1 foot after 2 foot, after 3 foot, after 4 foot. Step by step, this camel has walked across this giant desert, never giving up. Walking across the desert day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, being hot, being thirsty, being tired, being beyond hot, being beyond thirsty, being beyond tired. And yet they've never given up, taken one step after the other, after the other, after the other. But then finally, they just stop and close their eyes and say, I want to be in the oasis right now. And they close their eyes, they take a jump, and then they're in the oasis. One might say they never had to do that big long journey in the first place. But obviously that big long journey was needed by them to then realize they could just make that final jump. Very deep, very, very deep and beautiful story there. So let's get to these beautiful through lines of abundance and love. I don't know. I mean, these, there's a lot of cards in this deck, like older man, younger woman, younger man, older woman. It's like dealing with a relationship with an older man. That's awesome. But I am not going to be able to know where or what this person is going to be to you. But it seems very benevolent to me, because we have it right between this exciting event and the marriage, right near the nourishment. Oh, that's another thing, of course, the nourishment. It seems like you really need, pile number 2, really need the nourishment of being the you that can step back and nourish yourself and be balanced. But yes, I feel like this person that's coming into your life, or maybe re-emerging or becoming very important or helping you, whatever, very important. Okay, but let's see the cups energy first. We're going to go with the 2 of Cups, romantic love, just like the marriage card. The Page of Cups is just like this it is just this beautiful, unbridled passion. Okay? Unquenchable desire and love. Just very passionate. Very over the top almost. And then the Page of Cups is just all of these beautiful emotions being held out to you. That's like to drink from this cup of beautiful emotions. This beautiful cup of emotions. and this beautiful time that is steadfast. What I like about this, a lot of these court cards in this deck, it just is the image of the knight and the horse. It's exactly the same, except for a couple differences. But to me, this always signifies this person's love and this person's regard and attention and affection is steadfast. By day or by night, they're exactly the same. And you know why they're exactly the same? Because you, pile number 2, you, despite any fears you might have, despite any doubts you might have, despite anythings you might have, you are standing steadfastly in the you that you want to be. So that's the key to having the love be there by day or by night. And what is that steadfastness? It's no matter what the doubts come in as, it's I'm loved because I'm just the person that is loved. I am adored just because I am that person. That's what you say. That's how you live. That's who you believe yourself to be. No matter what is going on around you, that's your steadfast knowledge of yourself. And I just have to say, his legs he just is not having a good riding posture. His as a person that has ridden horses, his heel should be lower than his toes. I just have to point that out. That's a poor equestrian posture here. So where's the last? Oh, there it is. The Queen of Cups is just, you're holding, it's not even a cup anymore, it's this giant chalice. You're holding all of your emotional fulfillment in your own hands. And this is exactly what you need to understand, know, accept, and love about this process, is that look at the difference. He's only got a little cup of it. You've got the entire chalice of it. You've got this entire chalice of love and affection and attention and admiration and everything else. You pour it out to this person to then give back to you. And that does not mean that you have to adore and love someone before they give it back to you. No, this is your love for yourself that you've poured into this person's cup, and then they give it back to you, and unbeknownst to them, it really is your affection for yourself and your belief in the lovability of yourself, and that you are the person that is loved, that allows it to then be given back to you by someone else. And then, of course, with the Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles, this beautiful venture that's opening up for you, this new, beautiful, and exciting time of prosperity. We have I thought there was another Pentacle. Oh, yes, the Nine of Pentacles, which is a beautiful wish fulfillment card. It is prosperity and being, just having all of this beautiful harvest that you worked for, all beautifully and lovingly under your hands. And all of this prosperity is helping you to be exactly where you want to be, exactly when and where you want to be. I love her dress, by the way. So this is a wish fulfillment card. And then this King of Pentacles, again, this is the you know, the prosperity, the stability, the certitude of abundance and success and everything like even more, where it stopped becoming money and started becoming like just a force, if you understand me. It's more than just abundance now. It is like a wave, an inexorable wave of wealth. So that is your through line here of two beautiful successes, love and success. And I think I know the key to it is this ability to step back within yourself and balance yourself and be the person that is able to have those things. That is the key. And once you are that person, then you can just step back into yourself and allow everything to happen around you and everything to fall into place around you. And just remember the story of the camel that walked across the desert. That walk across the desert was necessary for that camel to then understand they could just jump from one reality to the next. So pile number 2, that is your reading. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for sharing your energy with me to make this reading possible. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future readings. Thank you so much, and I know I'll see you very soon. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Yay! This is such a cute card, huh? Look at that face. This is the Bear and Cedar with leadership. This is card number 4. Look at that face. Here we go. Here's this card over here, and this is your this is your crystal. This is a green aventurine oval. Here we go. And now I'm going to pull a couple cards from this deck. These 2 cards wanted to come right out. There we go. What do we have here? Spear, heartache over what you no longer have. Bird flying, news is on the way. Chair empty, someone is leaving your life. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. All right, so I have 3 tarot decks here. Oh my gosh, having to straighten them out. So just so you know, if you haven't seen me use this deck before, this is the vice versa tarot. So there's always a front and a back to each card. So that's why you see an image on the card. There's no back, like there's no universal back to this deck. I'm going to try to pull them out without seeing what they are. I think I'm going to shuffle again. So I see my 3 cards. 3. There we go. And this is the Halloween tarot. It's never too early or late to use the Halloween tarot. There we go. And then this is the Tarot of the Tales, or the Tarot of Tales, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's a folklore tarot deck. There's 2, and then 3. Let's see what we have for you. Wow, this is the 9 of Cups. This is a wish fulfillment card. So he has all of this wealth. He has literally a golden room, but he's not concerned with that. This is all that he wants is out here. He wants this. What a beautiful card. He doesn't want the material wealth, he wants love. All right, what else do we have? We have the 6 of Wands. This is a beautiful, it's a celebration, it's a parade, it's a victory parade. But then on the back we see all of the effort and the blood and sweat and tears that went into that victory. And then we have, wow, the 9 of Pentacles. Wow, a second wish fulfillment card. Look at this cute little bunny. So she's in her beautiful garden. And then we see at nighttime, this beautiful tower. There's someone else up there in the tower. So she has a dove on her hand, and then this person looks like an eagle landing on his hand. Interesting. But anyway, so that's your second wish fulfillment card. Three cards, and 2 of them are wish fulfillment. So we have the King of Cups. Wow. Oh, look at this dolphin. What a cute card. Oh my gosh, you're having such beautiful cards come out. And then this is the Hermit card. This Hermit card is so funny because, okay, so it's a Hermit card, he's got a couple snakes and that's it. But then you see the other side, he's got 2 dogs, he's got a crab, he's got an eagle, or no, that's not an eagle. I don't think, it's a bird. Looks like seagull. That's what it looks like to me. He's got a face in the moon. He's got all this company. So is he really a hermit? How interesting, your cards. All right, so that's that for that deck. So let's look at this. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. No kidding, things will not always be this way. Look, you have 2 cards that are exactly saying the same thing. A change is coming for you. I think I know what this is, but let me not read before I have all the cards out, because I've done that before and then I'm like, well, no, that wasn't quite it. So let's see. We have the Hierophant. Wow, look at these green cats. I've never seen a green cat. All right, what else do we have? The 10 of Pentacles. This is another wish fulfillment, and you know what it is? Right underneath the 9 of Pentacles. You got some awesome cards, pile number 3. Having to straighten out every card. The 4 of Pentacles. Here's the work that's going into the wish fulfillment. Okay, what else do we have? This is our final card for this deck. The Empress card. Look at this foot for this chaise lounge. It's a little creature foot. So funny. And it's got a little skull tassel on it. These are the artwork in these decks are so beautiful and interesting. All right, so let's see what do we have for this deck. The Page of Wands. Look at that vest. Page of Wands. We have the Two of Swords. Yep. That makes sense. Let's see, this last one, I'm so curious. After all of this, I'm so curious. The Chariot. Well, that makes sense too. Wow. So, let's see. There, we can see everything. So what is your subconscious trying to tell you, and what is going on, or what are you wanting to impress upon your subconscious, or what is just going on with your subconscious? Let's see. We have there's something really important with these oracle cards for you. All right, so heartache over what you no longer have. That's already established. It's like someone is leaving your life, heartache over what you no longer have. That is already something that is established. That is something that you are wanting to either change or, you know, get over or something. This is something that has affected your life. These two things, this idea. And it seems like it's been pretty stagnant in the past. You know what's funny? I didn't even intend for this to happen, but I noticed that before I picked this up right now, is that I had it perfectly aligned without even realizing it to the Wheel of Fortune underneath. So there is a very big correlation between these two. You know, heartache over what you no longer have, and things will not always be this way. A change is coming. There's a real, I don't remember, was that here? There's a real change. There's a big change coming for you. And the things will not always be this way. I mean, this is not a normal little transformation like a raise at work. That's not a transformation, but like this is not some little news is on the way. This is not some little thing. Things will not always be this way. A change is coming is okay, whatever, that sounds good. But the caterpillar has to completely become liquefied in its little cocoon to then emerge as the butterfly. It's a radical transformation. It is not a small change. It is a transformation. So this news, whatever it is huge. This news is huge. This Hermit card seems very significant to you, pile number 3. And I don't think that these friends I don't think the fact that the Hermit is not really alone has much significance for your reading. I just find it funny. But for your reading, there really has been a stepping back, and not just a stepping back, it's a stepping within and accepting everything about yourself. There's something about your present experience, pile number 3, that you have been not able to see clearly your path forward because you've been stuck in the past. And that's a huge thing. It's being stuck in the past and seeing, like, what do you call it? Illuminating your path forward, I guess. You haven't been able to. You haven't been able to light the lantern that would allow you to see your path forward. So you've been as a hermit in the wilderness without lighting your lantern until recently. Another way to say it is there's been a disconnect between your human self and your subconscious self. There's been something that's needed to link you both together, to let you know that your subconscious mind, your subconscious mind has not how can I say this? Neither your subconscious mind nor your conscious mind should be reviled. If your conscious mind is thinking about things that you don't want to think about, things like this heartache, things like this someone is no longer in your life, things like I haven't heard anything. I, pile number 3, haven't heard anything from this person that I want to hear from. That can be accepted, and it can be not given the importance that you used to give it. And if the subconscious mind, if you're realizing that something in your subconscious mind, you've been like just pumping out subconscious thoughts about whatever fear, whatever doubt, whatever anything in your life, I mean, that's affected your life, that also should not be reviled. Both parts of you, your conscious human self and your subconscious mind that's driving your conscious thoughts and behaviors, both of those things are you. You are not just your conscious mind. You are not just your subconscious mind. You're both. And you're not just your human self, and you're not just your great I am. You're not just your higher self. You're both. And so reviling yourself or beating yourself up for these sad thoughts, these memories, these feelings, that's just going to keep you from, instead of turning to a new reality and staying there, it's going to keep you endlessly turning and getting so dizzy. Do you understand what I mean? If you don't accept all of yourself and love all of yourself no matter what, you're going to endlessly be spinning and never getting off this this wheel of fortune. This wheel of fortune is going to endlessly spin and you're going to just be endlessly dizzy. So you pick the new position you want to be in, and you stay there relentlessly, no matter what is going on within you or without. No matter what is going on within you, no matter what is going on in your 3D, you are the you that you have to be to get all of this abundance that is pretty amazing. So look at this. The 9 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles, the Empress. I mean, there's a lot of abundance. There's a lot of magic here. There's a lot of being, embodying a lot of stuff that you haven't just wanted. It's the stuff that you've, in the past, you have considered this stuff so important that you are nothing without it. That's the truth, pile number 3. You in the past have considered yourself as nothing without the outside adulation, adulation, without the outside cheers and without the outside, not just gratitude, but like the outside love and just outside cheering and love no matter what, and public displays of affection on a grand scale. Without all that, you've felt that you are nothing. You've been profoundly certain that without that, you are nothing. And so what this whole message is to you is that it does not matter. See, she's in a really nice, beautiful environment, right? She's got the bunny, she's got the dove, she's got all of these pentacles growing, she's got this beautiful garden, she's got a beautiful sunny day, she's got this nice dress, she's got all of this stuff. Let's see what she has in the back. Well, she has a tower. She has a friend up there. She has all of this stuff. Giant moon. But this person is the same person no matter where she is standing, no matter what her outside circumstances are. And therefore, she can experience what she wants because she is the person who can experience it. You in the past, pile number 3, have felt that like this. You have felt like this. That fate is just running rampant. Look at his expression. He's completely in fear. I just noticed he has a little 4-leaf clover in his hand. He's completely in fear. He's completely out of control. He's so bound. He's bound. All 4 limbs are bound. Look at this elephant. So funny. But he feels out of control. You've felt out of control. No, even when things have not seemed this dire, you felt out of control. Maybe your whole life you felt out of control. I'm seeing this thing of like, there's something subconsciously that's driving at, or has driven you in the past to feel out of control no matter what is happening. No matter whether you've been stable or not in your life, in your 3D life, you felt out of control. And this leadership goes both ways. It cuts both ways for you. If you felt out of control your whole life, then you are, who's leading, basically? Is it the you that does feel in control and feels in control no matter what's going on? Or are you the person who is out of control and you feel out of control no matter what's going on? And I don't mean out of control as in like somebody who can't control themselves, like screams in public or nothing that like unsubtle. I'm saying that you, on the inside, if things are going well, if everybody's showing up the way you want to, you feel out of control. You still feel like you have no control. If things are going badly, you feel out of control. If things are going well, you feel out of control. Who's leading you? The person who's in control, no matter what's going on outside of you, or the person that's out of control, no matter what's going on outside of you? This leadership is telling us, this leadership card is telling us that you have to decide who's leading you. You have the two choices. You have the feeling in control no matter what is going on around you door, or you have the out of control feeling no matter what's going on around you door. And there's clearly only one door that will help you in this, you know, in this choice. There's no choice. You want to be in control. You want to feel in control no matter what, because in the end, you are in control no matter what. You are in control. You are stable within yourself no matter what is going on without. No matter what is going on in your 3D, you are in control because you manifest everything. And if there's something big coming in from your subconscious saying, I am not stable, no matter what, then you will be unstable no matter what. No matter what abundance you get, no matter how much work you do, no matter how much passion you have, no matter how much work you do, no matter how much you go off and find yourself, if your subconscious is telling you that you are never stable, you never will be. There's something going on that you are going to have to capture the feeling of being who you want, no matter what the circumstances. No matter what, you feel the great peace of knowing who you are. No matter what, you feel the great peace of knowing that you are always and forever the person who has what you want no matter what. It's so clear. I want to make sure that I'm saying it in a way that you understand. So if you have any questions, you can leave a comment, but this is your big message. So what is going on with this Chariot? The Chariot, and the news is on the way, is saying, like, things are happening for you, and things might not there's been it's not just this out of control feeling. There's been a disconnect that you have repeatedly been feeling like things are not happening for you, even if things are happening behind the scenes. Even if things are happening behind the scenes, you feel like things are not happening for you. And so this is a reminder to always assume that things are happening for you. All right, so I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Things are happening for you. Things are happening. Things are progressing. Things are changing no matter what, right? No matter what. No matter if you shut yourself up or you shut yourself up on a high mountaintop, things are happening. Things are always changing. Life is always shifting and changing, right? But you can only allow that change into your experience to change to what you do want if you accept that things do change and that things are changing, no matter if you can see them or not see them. So you've got, the thing that's wild about this reading, pile number 3, is that there's so much massive abundance, like, unbridled creative passion of yours, unbridled fortune and like change and germination and massive abundance, public accolades, being like this ruling creative what am I trying to say? Like, just power of like giving life and creativity and fertility to everything. And yet, there's something that's been blocking you. There's like this almost, okay, this is how I want to explain it. There's this like almost unstoppable force of creativity, of fertility, of abundance, of creativity. Did I say creativity before? Almost unstoppable force. But the only thing that can stop this force is stopping the force, and that is you. You are the one that's blocking this massive globe of success and accolades and everything that you've wanted. It's being blocked by some assumption of yours. And it looks like it's the fact that you feel like you don't have control. That, or if it's not that, it's something that you say to yourself, maybe subconsciously, that I never X, I always Y. Like, you can fill in with what you say to yourself, with what your subconscious is telling you. I don't like to say those things anymore. I in the past I've said, specifically things like that, but I don't find them helpful when I am watching a video. It makes me kind of get sidetracked into certain specifics, but I want you to fill in your specific thing. Like, this always happens to me. This X always happens to me. I always Y, nothing ever Z, everything always A, anything like that. If it's not that you feel out of control, I'm sure you can listen to your thoughts and hear what it specifically is. But this entire reading is filled with the things that are coming for you, and the only force in the universe that's able to stop them is the you that is stopping them. So you want to remove that pediment and allow and become the force that allows them to come to you and land on you and be all happy. You're all happy together, you and your abundance, you and your love, you and your stable, loving relationship. You know, Hierophant is also, one of the meanings of the Hierophant is stability in marriage and happy home life. And like, you know, like, so we have all of this happiness, all of this fertility, all of this abundance, all of this wish fulfillment, beautiful, stable relationships, everything. And this is like force, you know, this force of I've said this already, it's like this giant force of things happening. So do you want to be the one that's stopping you from getting what you want? Of course not. So what do? Pile number 3, you just, whenever those doubts come up and whenever those fears come up, whenever those thoughts and feelings come up, you don't have to fight them. You don't have to get into a big scuffle inside yourself. You can allow that thought to come up and you know, you can just allow the thought to come up. You can say, oh, okay. Yes, that's a thought. That's a fear. That's a feeling. But then you can just let it go. Let it go. And if you have to step up or step back and just illuminate your thoughts and think about them and observe them from a distance, you do that. You can observe them from a distance and say, no, I don't believe that anymore. That's something I used to give my attention to, but I don't believe that anymore, and I'm done with that. I don't believe that anymore, and I am over that. I don't believe that anymore. I am the new me. And you can fill it in with anything specifically that you want. Of course, I'm the me that ABC. I'm the me that XYZ. I'm the me that has 7, 8, 9. But the secret is not fighting against any thoughts and feelings. The secret is acknowledging them, saying like, oh, okay, that's a thought. That's a possibility. But I, pile number 3, choose to be the person that I want to be, regardless of what I'm seeing. Therefore, I'm always going to see in the end what I wanted. It's the paradox that you have to go first. You have to go first to get what you want. You have to believe to get what you want. You have to believe, not with your 3D human self. You can let your 3D human self think and feel things that you don't want, but not like forever. I mean, you don't have to wallow in your doubts and fears, but you can see, I, pile number 3, used to think this. This is an old thought that doesn't align with what I am now. And I, pile number 3, am stepping away from that. I can see that thought, I can think that thought, and then I can let that thought go, and I don't have to even think about it anymore. I don't have to give it any credence. It's gone. And if it comes up 100 times, this one thought that you don't like, you let it, you can acknowledge like, oh yeah, that's a thought, and then you let it go 100 times. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it keeps on coming back. You just let it go. You let it go, knowing that you are the person now that is not true of. And then all of this force of good things, you let it through. And then they're yours. Wow, pile number 3. What an amazing reading. You're an unstoppable force. That's all I have to say. So thank you so much for joining me for this amazing reading. Thank you so much for any likes, your comments, your shares, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any future readings. Thank you so much for being here and joining me, and I know I'm going to see you very soon. Bye for now.